Okay, so it's Sunday morning. It's still cold, and we had freezing rain last night. So I'm here in my workshop, just kind of getting a few things done. I got my space heater here, and while I am using it to warm my hands, I'm also using it to warm up this tape because I've decided to change my mind the way I'm going to do this. I was going to use this Sikaflex 252, and I've decided that I'm not going to use glue anymore. So doing some research, I've discovered that I have a TPO roof, so it's fairly thin, and it's adhered to a piece of 1/2-inch plywood. That's the roof of my camper. And TPO roof isn't particularly well adhered to the roof. I mean, it's on there. It's not going to blow off, but imagine putting this thing on here, which is one engineer who did an analysis on this. There's a guy's a mechanical engineer. I'm an electrical engineer, software engineer. I know enough to go ask mechanical engineers the answer to questions when I have them. And he thinks this is, the uplift on this could potentially be hundreds of pounds in the right wind conditions and that sort of thing, going 70 down the highway. And so that much weight pulling on the roof of your camper with, say you got your white membrane on there, and this would be adhered to that. Imagine going down the road, getting just enough uplift to peel. You actually might peel the membrane off the roof, and your solar panel goes with it, and half your roof membrane goes with it. It's probably not such a good idea. So I think that relying on the adhesion between the roof and the plywood underneath it is probably a bad idea for solar panels. So I'm going to switch to much more mechanically attached solar panel. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to switch screw sizes. I'm going to go from a number 8, this is a number 8, and this is a number 10. They're both roughly, this one's a little bit bigger, but it's got coarser threads. It's going to provide better pull-out protection than this one would, so it's stronger. It's going to go in the same hole as that. It almost fits. I just have to drill them out a little bit more. So we're going to add 2 holes per corner. Okay, so I got my new tape in that I'm going to use on the bottom of these, and this is actually a sample of it. This stuff is unbelievable. I mean, this is like, you can just see how stretchy and it's impossible to work with. In fact, let me just take some of this. So if I put a piece on here, this has got my fingerprints all over it. It's really not full strength, but I can't even get the stuff off my hands. This is so bad. And so if I, just say if I decide to screw 2 of these together, look at how sticky that is. That's ridiculous. So I think this is going to work really good for it. Actually, also notice it's got like a little squish out of it too if you push it down really good. But that's really on there. I don't know if it's as strong as VHB, but it certainly is going to seal better than VHB. This is it's actually a Turnabond tape. It's double-sided Turnabond tape, so it comes looking like this in the roll. So what I'm going to do to attach it is first of all, I grab the air hose and blow any bits of plastic off of this. All right, so we got that. And I got some paper towels, and I'm just gonna grab a paper towel here. I've got denatured alcohol in this bottle, and these have already been sanded and degreased once, but we're gonna do it again just because they may have fingerprints on them. So a bunch of denatured alcohol. Just gonna scrape this off. That has been degreased. Let's close this up so it doesn't get spilled. And so I've worked with this just a little bit. I've actually had the other 3 panels are done. This is the last one. I just want to be able to show this to you concisely, in a concise manner. Is that better? So anyway, this stuff sticks together. It even has a hard time unrolling. It's so sticky. But what I found is a pair of scissors is the best way to cut it. I tried the razor. This is a brand new, really sharp X-Acto blade. It doesn't cut very well. It cuts, but it's not great. So basically, I just kind of line this up, overcut it just a little bit, and the scissors still kind of wants to stick to the scissors, but it comes off if you're persistent with it. So we do that. So we peel off the backing, and then we'll just do this. So it's going to go right on here, like this. Push it down really good, like that. And what I'm doing is since it's so hard to cut, I'm just going to wrap it in on itself. So you can kind of see there's the corner. So we're just going to take this, and the motion you do, if you basically slide the blade across it, it actually does cut fairly well. So you gotta sort of push it in and sort of slide past it. So, and even there, you see how I did that? It still wants to stick together. So there's that. So that's all stuck. And then I found the best way to cut it is to push this blade right up against the edge and sort of slice. And so we'll just kind of do this. I'll show you. Kind of, I don't know. There we go. So we got a little slice started. So we just kind of pull it away and sort of slice. Kind of does a decent job. Come on. Oh, man, this stuff is sticky. Okay, so that comes off. And then you gotta sort of get it off of your fingers. Great. So let's just do another one right here. I'll show you how I do the corners. This one I'll cut a bit longer. Let's see, we'll do this. Cut it like that. Come on. So there's a crappy pair of scissors. Those are from Harbor Freight Tools. I don't actually recommend those scissors, even though they're only 99 cents. And I guess they're disposable scissors, so I don't really care what gets on them. Asphalt, shingles, or whatever you need. So again, we'll put this on here. Do that. So squish it all down there. So this side is there, and so we will do a slice in the corner just so it can roll over on itself. Come on. So do that. There's that, and then we'll trim this back. So sort of we're slicing. So that's good. And I'll just show you for the seam. I'm just going to basically make it so the edges touch together. Since it's a little squishy, the seam will probably fill itself in. And it really doesn't matter. All we're really trying to do is stick it down to the roof and put a good seal around that. And of course I just touch that with my fingers. Putting that back off again. Alright, so basically going to put a piece in here like this, and we will cut it a bit longer. Oh, that one cut good. Alright, go off the back, and I will put this in here. So I'm sort of like, I'm going to sort of stick the edges together before I start putting it on. There we go. And so now you can see that seam is pretty well stuck together. So we do that. And I will do a slice in the corner. Not terrible. And I will trim off the excess. Though, honestly, it doesn't matter if you trim off the excess because you're going to be putting self-leveling lap sealant over this, over the edges anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it might as well be neat. If you can be neat, right? Come on. God, I can't get over how sticky this stuff is. Suppose I could probably, if I put some lubricant on the, like some oil on the blade, maybe it wouldn't stick as bad. Anyway, so that's what it looks like. We'll burnish these on before we stick it down. So we're doing, and there's a strip of plastic like this, sort of on the back that will, before we put it down, we're gonna peel those off. So that's good. Let me show you something else that might be useful so you can just get a sense of how well this is gonna seal around screws. Just cut off a piece. So take this, grab a screw, and let me just screw through this. You can actually sort of, you can see, like, in fact, there's a coating of that stuff right on all the threads of the screw. So this is, and you can sort of see, I don't know if I can get you close enough to the camera. You sort of see right in here where there's a sort of a lip of sealant. So this is going to seal really well. In addition to that, I'm also going to put in a dab of self-leveling sealant to hopefully, if there's any other gaps, it'll fill those in. And then, of course, over the top, we put the self-leveling sealant. So that's what that looks like. I'm going to do the rest of this, and we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, so now we've got all the tape on the bottom of these. They're ready to go on the camper. We just want to do a quick test to make sure the panels are good. This isn't very scientific. It's really just kind of a go, no-go. It doesn't produce power. So I got it sitting here in just muted sun. It's not a ton of sun. This is a DC amp clamp. Mostly amp clamps are AC. This is a special one that's DC. I can put a description in the notes about where I got this one. It's off Amazon, like probably 20 bucks. It's not a big deal. So we're gonna put it on the 6 amp scale. Notice it defaults to AC. You can see a little AC there. So if you hit the select on this one, it jumps over to DC. And so you're just gonna clamp it on one of the wires. And we're gonna take this jumper, and you're just going to you're going to basically short the panel out so this will be producing maximum power. It's not going to hurt anything. And you just touch it together, and you'll see that's 1.57 amps. That's good. In this amount of sun, it's probably about right. So this panel is good. I'm going to run that test on the remaining 3 panels just to be sure, and then we're going to move on from there. Stop recording. Stop recording.